got asked to do a video on dairy milk and milk alternatives, so you know who you are. Thank you for the suggestion. I really do like to hear what people are curious about and want to learn about. So if there's anything else that you think would make a good video topic, please let me know. Okay, so first of all, dairy milk. Conventionally raised cows that make conventionally raised milk are going to have milk products that are more inflammatory, harder to digest, contain less nutrients, and then even contain even more hormones. So cows that are not fed grass and live on grassy lands are going to make milk that's going to be less healthy protein and less healthy fat. So, and then it gets taken then to a factory where it is pasteurized and processed even more, which is going to strip it of more nutrients and then even denature the fat and the protein that's in there. So raw milk can actually be a better alternative. It will contain more nutrients, healthier fats, healthier protein, more fat, and then more probiotics and more minerals. And if you're lucky enough to find a local dairy farmer that can give you that raw milk and is raising cows properly and making sure that milk and that milk process is sanitary and safe, then that is a great route to go if you can find that. And then people seem to digest raw milk much easier, but always go based on how you feel when drinking and eating anything. Okay, so now let's talk about milk alternatives. Some of the three main ones are going to be almond milk, coconut milk, and oat milk. And when it comes to almond milk and coconut milk, they are going to have pretty similar nutrient profiles. They're going to have a little bit differences in different fat and protein content, but I'm not too worried about that. It doesn't make a ton of a difference. And I don't count macros. We don't count macros in my office. So between those two, I don't really have much of a preference. Oat milk, on the other hand, tastes great because oats are pretty sugary, natural sugar content. And so if we're going to use a milk alternative for like something larger, like a latte, or pouring it, a decent amount over granola or something like that, I would go more for coconut milk and almond milk because it's going to be less of a sugar content. If you want to use it in a smaller amount, for example, people will use it as a creamer substitute. There's lots of nasty creamers out there, so a splash of oat milk would be a great swap out for those. And then I really like hemp milk. You don't really find that in stores as much, but it's super easy to make. You just blend hemp seeds with water, and then you can add in dates or maple syrup to sweeten it up, and that can be a great option as well. And what matters more in this discussion, you guessed it, the ingredients. So when we're picking out a milk alternative, we want to get the unflavored and the unsweetened versions. We do not need added sugar. We do not need artificial sweeteners added in. We don't need natural flavors or artificial flavors. So try and avoid those. And then avoiding preservatives as well. Those are chemicals that we do not want in our body. And then carrageenan. Carrageenan is a big one to look out for. It's found in a lot of milk substitutes and a lot of dairy products in general. And so it has been shown in the research to be damaging to our GI tract and even in some instances increase tumor growth. Gross. Try and avoid that one. And I get asked about the other thickening agents like guar gum or xanthan gum, so those kinds of gums. They sound really gross, but they're actually not as bad as a carrageenan would be. They're not perfect by any means. It is a processed food product, but it's not horrible. So they're hard to find, in no milk substitutes. So just look for a product that might only have one of those gums in them rather than 4 or 5 or something like that. So that is dairy and dairy milk alternatives.